Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Be the Light with me, Sarah G. I am so happy that we made it to the start of a new week. I hope everyone had a great productive weekend. As always, a quick recap of my weekend. We worked Saturday, had a great night with some friends. Saturday night, yesterday, I knew that Spencer and I had planned brunch. I did not know he was going to surprise me with getting my nails done. I feel so good. I'm beginning to feel more like myself every day. So I'm almost all cut up. I got my hair fixed, my nails are done. All the, what do they call it? The cosmetic things that have been taken care of, but I love it. So yeah, feeling great. Today has also been great. Some of y'all might have noticed that I was able to go to the gym for the first time today, which is amazing because I am competing in an Ironman this coming October, and I have not been able to swim since COVID started. And if any of y'all are swimmers or triathletes like me, then you know that it takes a hot minute to get back into that swimming shape. It's gonna take me anywhere from the next, probably 3 to 4 weeks to get to where I was before I had to put a break on everything. So yeah, I was so excited to get in there today. Spencer was the guy who took those cool photos that y'all were able to see. It was nice. I was almost done with my workout, and then I look up and there he was, and I was like, oh, I love you. I just love him so much. So yeah, it has been a great morning, feeling good. And so while we are on the topic of feeling good, I thought that today would be a great day to talk about happiness, because it's something that I have honestly, for the longest time, even myself have been guilty of linking my happiness to either people or achievements or things. My life won't feel the happiest until, I'm with this person, or I won't feel happy until I've achieved this goal. And it's still something that, sometimes I overthink and I get down on I could be happier if I had this. And that is so just wrong. Cancel all those thoughts. Today I've been reading, y'all been seeing me read this book, Feeling Good. And I love it because, like I said on Friday, there's a couple days last week where I was just off of my game. And when I realized why I was off, it's because I wasn't journaling, I wasn't practicing my daily gratitude the way I had been used to, I wasn't reading. So when I'm not on my game, it is so crazy how things just reverse, and I go, I just get in my head too much. But when I'm on my game, doing the things that I know will make me feel good, I, of course, guess what? Feel good. So yeah, like I was just saying a few seconds ago, something that I've, discovered and learned throughout all the books that I've been reading and the people that I'm closest to is happiness comes from within. If we can just get it out of our heads that we have happiness is linked to something else other than ourselves, then we will feel so much better every day as we go out and live our lives. I'm not even kidding. It's so true. In this book, something that I've been practicing just recently, I'm not gonna lie, as of a week ago, is this chart, and I have it bookmarked because I like to diagram it. But so this chart is called the triple column technique. And essentially what it is I'll take my sticky out so you can see. But there are so you make 3 columns. You can fold your paper into what do they call it? A hot dog. When you remember you were in grade school, they were make a hamburger or make a hot dog. So you would make a hot dog for this one, fold it into 3, or divide it into 3 sections. And your first section is gonna be titled your automatic thought. And so, for example, your automatic thought is you mess up on something, and you might tell yourself, oh, I never do anything right. You just start putting, you have the first thing that comes to your mind of however you're feeling in that moment, or oh, you're late to a meeting. I am always late. We just exaggerate in the moment, and then the next column is called cognitive distortion. So in the book, there's a page that I also have bookmarked because I refer to it when I'm, reflecting and not feeling well. And there's essentially 10 different categories that you can fall into as far as like overthinking and how you're feeling to help you realize, or to help you, I guess, pinpoint exactly why you're feeling that way and how to like get out of that feeling so that you can feel better. If I can go through just one of them so that you would understand, it's all or nothing thinking, right? And so that essentially is, you see things in black and white categories. If your performance falls short or perfect, you see yourself as a total failure. So it's like when I would go running. Remember, I talked about this a few weeks ago. I had to stop looking at my phone during my runs, because I would be running, and then I'm so competitive, even with myself. And so I would pull out my, because I track all my runs through Strava. Download Strava if you're a runner. First off, runner, cycle, if you run, cycle, I don't think it tracks it for swimming, but running and cycling for sure. It's great. It's kind of like the social media for athletes. But yeah, anyway, so I'd be in the middle of my run, and then to make sure that I'm running either at pace or faster than my previous run, I would check it like at the mile mark and be like, and if I was running slower, I would get in my head and be like, oh my God, I suck right now. What do I suck so badly? And granted, like I'm giving myself self-talk. So yeah, it's pumping me up to want to like do better. But at the same time, that self-talk was also, it was stressing. What it was actually doing was stressing me out, to be honest. It was stressing me out to the point where I was not looking forward to my runs, because I was so like, either I do better than I did last time, or I'm a piece of shit, because like, I cannot be slower. Like that kind of mentality was like making me not love my runs. And so I had to coach myself out of taking my phone out in the middle of my runs to check my time. Like, if I'm gonna run and I am gonna feel good while I'm running, in order for me to be proud of myself while I'm running, leave my phone in my pocket. And it was difficult at first, because obviously, like I said, I'm competitive. I wanna know exactly where I'm at, how I'm doing. But I had to remind myself, if I want to feel good, leave it in your pocket. Like you can check your time at the end of the run, and you make adjustments for the next run based off of that time. But in the moment, leave that thing in your pocket, Sarah. Do it! That's an example of the all or nothing thinking. So far we've covered the first column, which is the automatic thoughts. The cognitive definition. So like I said, the cognitive definition for my action or thoughts while I'm running would fall into the all or nothing. And then the last column is rational response. So it's just, that column is reevaluating the situation and really deciphering what's actually happening, So quick recap, you have 3 columns. First column is automatic thought. Like I said, an example of mine is when I'm running, my automatic thought, if I were to check my phone while I'm running, is I suck, I'm slow. And then cognitive distortion that's all or nothing. Like, do I actually suck? Am I actually that slow? No, So that would fall into the rational response, where it's like, I have to, where I write it out, so I can physically see like, hey, like, yes, that time might have been a little bit slower than my previous time, but does that mean that I'm a total failure? No. Does that mean that I cannot go out in my next run and do better? No. Does that mean that I am not qualified to compete in marathons anymore? No. Like, those are all those excuses, or not excuses, but those are all the things that I would tell myself until I had that rational thought and wrote it out and felt better about it. So that's why I love this book, because it's called Feeling Good. So I'm actually going to, he has like this dialogue with this lady. Maybe this will help y'all understand it a little bit better if mine wasn't good enough. But she says, her name is Nancy, and Nancy says, I should have worked with Bobby on his homework, because now he is disorganized and not ready for school. Bobby's her son. I spoke to Bobby's teacher, who said Bobby lacks self-confidence and doesn't follow directions adequately. Consequently, his schoolwork has been deteriorating. I had a number of self-critical thoughts after the call, and I felt suddenly dejected. I began to tell myself that a good mother spends time with her kids on some activity every night. I'm responsible for his poor behavior. Lying, not doing well in school, or lying, not doing well in school. I just can't figure out how to handle him. I'm a really bad mother. I begin to think he was stupid and about to flunk and how it was all my fault. So David, the therapist, the guy who wrote this book, says, okay, so what's wrong with that statement? Are you truly a bad mother? And Nancy says, well, and David says, is there any such thing as a bad mother? Nancy, of course. David, what is your definition of a bad mother? Nancy, a bad mother is one who does a bad job of raising her kids. She isn't as effective as other mothers, so her kids turn out bad. It seems obvious. David, so you would say a bad mother is one who is low on mothering skills. That's your definition? Nancy, some mothers lack mothering skills. David, but all mothers lack mothering skills to some extent. Nancy, they do? David, there's no mother in this world who is perfect in all mothering skills, so all lack mothering skills in some part. According to your definition, it would seem that all mothers are bad mothers. Nancy, I feel that I'm a bad mother, but not everybody is. David, well, define it again. What is a bad mother? Nancy, a bad mother is someone who does not understand her children or is constantly making damaging errors that are detrimental. David, according to this new definition, you're not a bad mother, and there are no bad mothers because no one constantly makes damaging errors. Nancy, no one? David, you said that a bad mother constantly makes damaging errors. There is no such person who constantly makes damaging errors 24 hours a day. Every mother is capable of doing some things right. Nancy, well, there can be abusive parents who are always punishing, hitting. You read about them in the papers, David. Their children end up battered. That could certainly be a bad mother. David, there are parents who resort to abusive behavior. That's true. And these individuals could improve their behavior, which might make them feel better about themselves and their children. But it's not realistic to say that such parents are constantly doing abusing or damaging things. And it's not going to help matters by attaching the label bad to them. Such individuals do have a problem with aggression and need training in self-control, but it would only make matters worse if you tried to convince them that their problem was badness. They usually already believe they are rotten human beings and that is part of their problem. Labeling them as bad mothers would be inaccurate, and it would also be irresponsible, like trying to put out a fire by throwing gasoline on it. Nancy, but I still have the feeling that I'm a bad mother. David, well, once again, what is your definition? Nancy, someone who doesn't give her child enough attention, positive attention. I'm so busy in school, and when I do pay attention, I'm afraid it might all be negative attention. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. David, a bad mother is one who doesn't give her child enough attention, you say. Enough for what? Nancy, for her child to do well in life. David, do well in everything or some things? Nancy, in some things. No one can do well in everything. David, does Bobby do well at some things? Does he have any redeeming virtues? Nancy, oh yes, there are many things he enjoys and does well at. David, then you can't be a bad mother according to your definition because your son does well at many things. Nancy, then why do I feel like a bad mother? David, it seems that you're labeling yourself as a bad mother because you'd like to spend more time with your son, and because you sometimes feel inadequate, and because there is a clear-cut need to improve your communication with Bobby, but it won't help you solve those problems if you conclude automatically you are a bad mother. Does that make sense to you? Nancy, if I paid more attention to him and gave him more help, he could do better at school and he could be a whole lot happier. I feel it's my fault when he doesn't do well. David, so are you willing to take the blame for his mistakes? Nancy, yes, it's my fault, so I'm a bad mother. There she goes again. David, are you also to take the credit for his achievements and for his happiness? Nancy, no, he should get the credit for that, not me. David, does this make sense? That you're responsible for his faults but not his strengths? Nancy, no. David, do you understand the point I'm trying to make? Nancy, yep. So long story short, hopefully that made sense. we're just sometimes we're our own worst critics, right? As people, as humans, we all know what we're capable of. Sorry, that first capable had like 3 P's. But yeah, we all know what we're capable of, and it's so great that we hold ourselves to such a high standard to achieve all the things that we want in life. But it's also very important that while we're out there living life, in order for us to be feeling good and truly be at our happiest, to reflect on those times when we're really hard on ourselves, because there are a lot of times it's just all the self-talk or overthinking. And like he was explaining to Nancy in the book, there's always like, all of us have the capability to change in an instant. Like who we were 5 minutes ago does not mean that's who we're gonna be 10, now. You can always change, you can always do better. Just because you were this person in the past does not mean that you will forever be that person. You can change and be someone new in the future. Like, as long as you're living and doing your best, there is always room for improvement. And I think something that, I see, especially living in a house with roommates for like a portion of every year, there's conversations that I have with them where they're just like, so-and-so said this though, my family wants this though. And something that I've had to learn and that I, try to teach them when they're having those thoughts is remove everyone else from your head. Like even you, remove everyone else's opinions, because in life, we're never, ever going to be able to please everyone. And I know like we want to, meet the expectations of our family members and loved ones, friends, and all that. But at the end of the day, this is our life. And what's most important is that you live a life that you feel good living, and that then you're doing things that make you happy, not them. They can do their own things. They can make themselves happy. But in order for you to spread the love and happiness that is in your heart, you have to practice doing those things for yourself first. Does that make sense? So yeah, it does take time, like I said, because, especially growing up in a Hispanic family where I have a bunch of opinions coming at me all the time, your grandparents, for instance, or even your parents, whoever, like everyone always thinks they know what's best for you. And that's great for you to listen to what they have to say and really take into consideration all their thoughts and opinions. But at the end of the day, they also have to realize that or just trust that they raised you right, to make, good solid choices, to learn from your mistakes, to be that kind, loving human that they know that you're capable of being. Like all of us have goodness in our hearts, all of us. And I truly believe that, like all of us are capable of doing amazing things. All of us are capable of achieving any dream or goal that we set our minds to. So yeah, at the end of the day, my goal for each and every single one of you, and I know it's easier said than done, is when we are feeling guilty, or if we're feeling bad, or if we're feeling like we can't do things, is to, take that pressure off of yourself, sit down, make the column I just showed you, or buy this book so you can have like the example right there in front of you all the time, and just reevaluate the situation. And at the end of it, you'll realize that like, hey, like, yeah, I might have messed up, or yeah, I might have not performed as well as I had wanted to. But that doesn't mean that I am any less of a person. That doesn't mean that I am not capable of doing better. So yeah, I absolutely I've been loving this book so much. And like I said, I posted this thing earlier on my Facebook story and Instagram story, and it was Tom Bilyeu, and Tom Bilyeu shared his 6 steps to happiness, right? And the first one was gratitude, which for big or small things, if you wake up in the morning, you write down 3 things that you're grateful for within the last 24 hours, like I said, it changes your day. Gratitude, you've heard me speak about it 1,000 times. You practice gratitude, you will feel better every day. It's hard for you to feel badly when you're grateful for so much, So gratitude, number 1. Meditate. Meditate is something that I am working on. Right now, I can sit quietly for about like 5 to 8 minutes. It is really difficult for me, but it's something that I want to be better at. So little by little, daily steps, I am getting there. But meditation. 3 is sleep. One thing that I love about my job and our life, and that I'm grateful for every day, is the fact that we can go to bed. I can go to bed, by like 12:30, And I know that if I go to bed by 12:30, my automatic alarm clock in my head, without me using my phone or a device to wake me up, wakes me up between 6:30 and 7:30. Like, I'm not even kidding, every day. And so as soon as I wake up or feel the, urge to wake up, I wake up. Even if I'm a little groggy, like, I get up. And like I said, that's usually, if I'm going to bed by 12:30 a.m., that's usually between the hour 6:30 and 7:30 a.m. So just know every day, no later than 7:30 a.m., my ass is up and I'm getting ready for the day. I got to hit my workout. And all those other great things. So yeah, sleep. If you can wake up without an alarm clock, the feeling is so much better. Every time I have to wake up with an alarm clock, I start like my day with a little bit of a headache, because I just hate that sound. Even if like the most calming sound, Spencer has like this, these outdoor sounds that wake him up in the morning. It's like birds chirping and water flowing, and it sounds beautiful, but still, you would also get tired of hearing it if that's what you heard every morning, So yeah, sleep, eat well. The foods that you put into your body obviously play a huge part in how you feel every day. If you're eating, bad foods, you're gonna feel like shit. If you're, typically fast food makes you feel slow and lethargic. Like, no one likes feeling that way. Yes, it tastes yummy in the moment for a few seconds, but later on, how's your stomach feeling? Probably not the best. How's your mood feeling? You're probably not the best, So do our best to eat well. Exercise. Wow. Exercise is huge for me. Like I said, y'all know me. I have a lot of energy every day. So exercise, especially if I'm feeling like really like bothered by something or frustrated or stressed out, I force myself to go, maybe sometimes even take or work out twice a day instead of once a day, just to get rid of that, feeling. Because by the end of my workout, guess what? I'm tired. And do I have the energy to fight back with anything anymore? No. Now I can think clearly and realize, like, hey, what I was upset about maybe 30 minutes ago does not matter. Like, it's not worth my time or energy. I'm over it. Thank God for exercise. Not only that, but if you exercise daily, then dude, trust me, you will start seeing those changes, especially if you're eating well. So they go hand in hand. And the last thing Tom Bilyeu talks about is do hard things. And he says that because that's how you earn self-respect, and few things will make you feel better than having that self-respect, that pride, like, hey, I did that. That's one of the reasons I signed up for a triathlon. One, I'm a psycho. I love doing crazy things like that. But two, constantly just like pushing myself to do things that other people aren't willing to do, or things that like other people might be intimidated by, whatever. Like the fact that I go out there and chase those big things, I feel like a badass when I do those things, especially after I accomplish them. Like, I freaking love it, right? So yeah, in a nutshell, the 6 things: gratitude, meditate, sleep, eat well, exercise, and do hard things. We can all do it. I know you definitely can. Yay. So over the weekend, I was speaking to one of my girlfriends, and I'm really happy that we had, speaking of happiness, first, she made my day. Second, I'm really happy that we talked about a few of the things that we did, because going back to happiness and feeling good all the time, another example I can give you is this one. So I have experienced, especially, over the last few years, now that I'm older, y'all, if y'all don't know this, I will be 31 in a few months. 31 in October. Yes, I know. I don't always look it or act it, but yes, I am that old, or old. Whatever. I'm really not that old, but anyway. In my family, especially my dad, I get pressure from my dad to my dad is 1 out of 9 kids, and all of his siblings have grandchildren. He is the only one, and he's like the middle child out of the 9 that does not. And so he puts pressure sometimes on my brothers and I to have those kids, to meet the right person so we can have those kids. And honestly, that's probably one of the things that I struggled with the most, especially after I met Spencer. Like, I met Spencer, I fell in love, till this day, we are so in love. I am the happiest I've ever been. Like, I know that him and I are getting married, right? Like, we talk about it all the time. And I know that he's going to be, he's the future father of my future kids, and so, like, getting that pressure from my dad, like, sometimes, or even, like, friends, sometimes I get in my own head about it, like, oh my God, like, maybe I should have them now, or I'll get like a little sad, just like overthinking it. Like, I know, as much as I would love to have kids and be able to give my dad those grandkids, what I, just constantly remind myself of is God has always given me everything that I need exactly when I need it or when I'm ready for it. I have made it this far in life with all the things that I need. And I say need because there's a difference between things that we need and want, right? And so one thing that I love is I was raised to believe that the things that I need daily to survive are a roof over my head, food in my stomach, and love. Like, those are the only three things. Anything outside of that are just like materialistic things that I don't need. They're just things that I want. And so I feel very blessed, to be alive, to have a beautiful roof over my head everywhere I go, to be able to eat these, nutritious things, and to be surrounded by love, by family, by Spencer, by my friends. Like, I have all the things that I need. Do I want children? Yes. Would I love to have them now? Yes. And so back to the conversation I was having with my girlfriend, her and I are the same age. We graduated college together. She has 2 beautiful babies, and both of them are, I think one is like 2 or 3, and then her daughter just turned, or is about to turn, a year old. And her husband travels a lot for work in the same fashion that Spencer does. And so it's nice being able to relate to her because she knows exactly what I go through most of the time. And I was telling her, like, oh my gosh, like, I would love to have kids right now. Like, sometimes I, feel badly because I talk about it with Spencer, and at the end of the day, he's like, yes, we're going to have them, but not yet. And if I'm being honest, that makes me sad sometimes. So I'm like, oh, I wish I could have them tomorrow. Like I said on Friday, like, if I could just think and get pregnant, I would have 1,000 kids. Scary. I know. But what she was saying is, like, she loves her kids. She is an amazing mom. But since her and I kind of lived like the same lifestyle, she was like, hey, Sarah, like, at the end of the day, I love my kids to pieces. Like, they are God's biggest blessing to me. But since her husband travels so much, she's like, dude, like, if I were you, I would continue to wait a little bit longer until Spencer is home more, so that he can be there to raise those kids with you, to experience all those things with you. And nothing against her husband. Like, her husband is amazing. He's so sweet. He treats her like royalty. Like, they are a beautiful, perfect family. But it was nice to, hear her or get her 2 cents on my situation. It just reminded me not to be so hard on myself, or not to feel guilty for not having, grandkids for my dad yet, or even putting that pressure on myself. Like I said, I'm going to be 31 soon. And so sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting too old for kids. Am I going to have, the energy for them? Which, of course, I feel like my energy is infinite, but is my body more so going to be, in a good enough shape for them? Am I going to have enough eggs by the time I actually want to, try having kids? It's like a million things that run through your mind as a woman that I shared, with Spencer. And he also is really great at just like calming me down. He'll say, first off, like, you're in amazing shape, and I don't see you like slowing down anytime soon. Like, I feel like, your body, you'll be perfect for giving birth whenever the time is right. And second, he also agrees with what my friend was saying, is he wants to be around to raise our kids, which is why I love him so much. Like, he doesn't want to miss a beat. Like, yes, he works his ass off, and yes, we live a beautiful life. But he wants to continue to work hard, so that we can save up more, so that he can work a little bit less in the future, so that he can be home with us and experience those things. And I love him so much every time he says that, because I know that I have a great partner who truly wants to be there for me and for our future family. So yeah, that's another thing that, like I said, if I were to get into my own head too much about, I could easily feel down about, like, oh my God, like, I am a shitty adult, or I'm a bad daughter because I haven't been able to give my dad the things that he's wanted. Or if I could think of it another way. Oh my God, am I gonna have, like, if I can feel badly inside, if I'm putting all that pressure on myself, like, oh my God, time's running out, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And of course, like, if you're constantly telling yourself like you're not gonna be able to do this, you start to believe it after a while. But if I tell myself, like, no, things are gonna be okay, like, I trust in God, I trust in the process, I trust that everything will work out exactly the way it's supposed to, when it's supposed to, then guess what? Just by, changing my perspective on things, I automatically feel better. So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, it's truly up to us how we feel in every second of every day. Like, we have total power Last thing I'm gonna leave you with about happiness is you've probably heard me, I think I might have said this toward one of my first videos, is growing up, you know, I have siblings, I have 2 brothers, and when we would like bicker or get into arguments, we would scream at each other and be like, you're making me so mad. And something that I love that my mom would say during those times is, no, he's not making you mad. He's not making you mad. You're choosing to be mad. And so can you imagine, like, it's always something I laugh about because it's so true. Like, we seriously have the choice to feel good, to feel bad. But if we do our best to feel good, then we're able to spread that good feeling towards everyone else. And it's just like a domino effect. Like if I walk into a room and I feel good and I want to love on you and like just like cheer you up, then guess what? You're going to feel good and you're probably going to go do the same thing to the next person that you speak with. So yeah, especially in times like we're in this world needs more of us feeling good, being happy, spreading love, spreading joy, being kind, and all the things. So yeah, let's take that attitude into the week. And just do our best to find that happiness within ourselves, because I promise you it's there. And if you want some help or inspiration, get this book. This book is by David Burns, Feeling Good. Yes, it's thick, the font is small, but it is worth every minute. Even if you read it for 5 minutes a day, whatever, a little something goes a long way. So yeah, guys, that's my 2 cents on happiness. Thank you for sitting with me through that. As y'all know, today is Giveaway Monday, and today's Giveaway Monday is going to be a little bit different. What I did is, obviously there's a lot of, charities that we can be giving back to right now to support, what we believe in. So I went online, I Googled, I did my homework, and I found, this organization called Girl Power. Girl Power, Girl Wonder. I don't know why. I even wrote it down, Power, and it's Wonder. Girl Wonder, I apologize. Girl Wonder, GYRL Wonder. And I loved it because this organization gives rise to ambitious, which is one of my favorite words, young women of color between 17 and 22. They empower girls through social impact, career exploration, and objective alignment, provide access and resources necessary for them to successfully enter a competitive workforce while teaching them to how to leverage those tools to reach their professional and personal goals. So I just love it. They are basically, just empowering, women of color between 17 and 22. So right at that age, right when they're getting ready to graduate and go into their adult lives. Perfect time. It's like to really just keep these women, these young, these youth motivated to do big things, to be the change, to be the light. And I loved that about it. Not only that, but it was girls. They're all females. And hey, let's get back to the female world. So yeah, that is who I am going to give my giveaway donation to today. I feel really great about it. I actually already went online and did it. And I'm going to leave the link in today's post so that if you feel like you would also like to give, please do. I chose Girl Wonder because it's our youth. And again, it's supporting women of color who I really feel like need the most support right now. And so it's just gonna, I want to encourage our youth to be the best that they can be, because they are going to be the ones who are going to be taking care of me when I'm old. So yeah, everything about this organization I definitely loved. And if you would like to donate, just click the link in this post at the end to make your donation. Simple and easy as that. But yeah, that's what's happening today on Giveaway Monday. Like I said, I feel amazing about it. But let's go ahead and wrap this baby up. Everyone, thank you so much for sitting through today. I love each and every single one of you more than you'll ever know. Let's go into this week with great, feeling good, with just big goals in mind, big or small, it doesn't matter. Just every day, one step at a time. Let's just make today better than yesterday, yes? All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. As always, continue to be the light in your life and everyone else's you surround yourself with. I cannot wait to catch up with y'all on Friday. Have a great week. We'll see you soon. Bye, guys.